I were starting with Outschool today, here is what I would do. Hello everyone, my name is Alejandra Landano and welcome back to my YouTube channel. On this channel you find lots of different videos specifically about teaching and working online from home. I love sharing tips and helping others get started teaching online, as well as helping educators get paid what they really and truthfully deserve. In today's video, I'm talking all about Outschool. I'm going to share with you what I would do if I started teaching Outschool today, right now, this month. If I just got hired, what would I do? First, I would use a referring teacher. Now, I am not saying you need to choose me as your referring teacher, but when I actually applied to Outschool, I did some research and I picked a referring teacher that I felt would actually help me through the application process. And my referring teacher actually did that. My referring teacher gave me great tips. They were able to respond to any questions I had, and then we even had a Zoom call together so we could discuss the classes I currently had and how to make them better. Now, when you are first starting with Outschool, or really when you're going through that hiring process, it is not a requirement to have a referring teacher, but I really recommend it. There are so many Outschool teachers that are willing to help you if you use their application link, because they then get a bonus. But many of these teachers provide free resources, free Zoom consultations, lots of helpful videos. So take advantage of that. Find a referring teacher or find a buddy to go through the application process with. And kind of a side note, if you're searching for a referring teacher, these are kind of the things I usually look for. Like for me personally, when I actually apply for different companies, like in the last year, I applied to Outschool as well as GOGOKID. For both of those companies, I had a referring teacher. Both of those teachers were different, and both of those teachers reached my personal needs. So they answered different questions I had about the company. They maybe gave me free props or gave me free resources I could use to make the hiring process a little bit easier. They set a Zoom call with me. They sent me different videos to help me get through the process. So those were the specific requirements I personally like to look for in a referring teacher. But reach out, ask a person that already works for Outschool if they would be willing to help you get through the process. And like I said, it's always just great to have a buddy as you're going through the hiring process with Outschool. Step number 2 is to pick a class type to start with. So you don't want to overwhelm yourself and just start teaching all the different types of classes, creating lesson plans for multi-day classes, flex classes, one-time classes, ongoing classes, tutoring classes. That's just way too much. So if I were starting today, I would pick one of these class choices. I would either start with one-time classes or tutoring classes. One-time classes are great for new teachers, and that's exactly what I started with, and I think it worked perfectly because you create one lesson and you teach that same lesson over and over and over to a new group of students. So it's an easy way to start getting familiar with creating your own lessons, using the marketplace, managing small class sizes, etc. So if I didn't start with one-time classes, I would then recommend starting with tutoring one-on-one classes. And it's pretty obvious as to why. It's because you're only working with one student. And that is something that may be intimidating to new Outschool teachers, is teaching a small group of students online. Therefore, tutoring sessions are a perfect way to start because you're only with one student. You can again become familiar with the marketplace. You're able to build nice personal relationships with the students that start to book your classes. You slowly become familiar with planning your own lessons, etc. So if I were to start with Outschool today, I would either start with one-time classes or tutoring one-on-one classes. Now, after I've decided, do I want to do one-time classes? Do I want to do tutoring classes? Or if I want to do both, I'm going to need to start experimenting and finding my niche. Therefore, if I were starting today, I would create 2 or 3 classes about different topics. For example, when I first started, I taught some arts and craft classes, I taught some animal classes, and I taught some ABC rhyming classes. And I experimented with those and others to slowly figure out my niche. And honestly, I would do the same exact thing if I were starting today. Interrupting my own video really quick to ask you, if you are finding this information helpful, please hit the subscribe button. That small button helps me and my channel begin to grow. Okay, continue watching the tips. Now, keep in mind, you would not have to experiment with 2 or 3 niches all at the same time. Maybe during month 1, you make animal classes and you notice your animal classes aren't doing so well. So maybe the next month you'll add a new niche and you'll try ABC classes, or then arts and craft classes or science classes. And I would do that 2 to 3 times until you find and realize what you think your actual niche is. It is okay to go into Outschool thinking you're gonna focus on one niche and then completely changing a few months later. That's actually exactly what I did. I thought I was gonna focus a lot on kindergarten skills and arts and crafts, and my niche kind of slowly changed as I started teaching for this marketplace. But you want to teach a few different classes, a few different age groups, so you can start to find your niche on this platform. And that is exactly what I would do today as well. Step number 4 is to teach all classes that have learners enrolled, especially during those first few months. Why am I saying that? Because this is your own Outschool business. You are an independent contractor as an Outschool teacher. Therefore, you need to treat this job opportunity as a business. I recommend you teach every single class you get booked, even if there's just 1 student. And here's why. If you make your class super engaging, give that student an awesome lesson, you have a high chance of that student enrolling in another one of your classes. For example, I feel like one-time classes are a great place to help funnel students into your tutoring classes or your ongoing classes or your multi-day classes, because if they really like you or they really connect with you in that one-time class, they're more likely to take other classes, and that could be in one-time classes with 1 student, 6 students, or 10 students. So teach all of those one-time classes, ongoing classes, multi-day classes, even if there's only 1 student enrolled. Now, the last step, if I were starting today, and let's say I started teaching today, and 2 or 3 months down the road, my bookings, my enrollments are a little lower than I'd like. What could I do about it? Ask for help. I know a ton of other teachers as well as myself that would be more than happy to take a look at your profile, give you different tips, help you create different classes, help you create your tutoring listing so you can also find success on the Outschool platform. So I would ask teachers maybe to take a look at my profile, ask them for any tips. I would also do some research. There are tons of teachers here on YouTube that love to share tips to help you improve your enrollments or increase your enrollments, improve your class listings, but ask for help. That is the beautiful thing about an online teaching community. There are so many educators that want to help you and see you succeed. Now, those are the 5 steps I would take if I were just starting as an Outschool teacher in July of 2021. I still think there is a lot of potential for new teachers with this platform. If you have any questions about Outschool or teaching online, I love hearing from you. You are more than welcome to leave them in the comments down below. Send me an email or even send me a direct message on Instagram. Again, I love talking and just sharing experiences and information with my YouTube family. If you want to see how I create a tutoring listing, I recommend you watch this video next as I I mentioned in this video, starting with tutoring classes or one-on-one classes is a great place to start, and that video may be very helpful for you. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you over there in my next video.